In this city, we're getting hung up at the moment in a debate around one lane on a two-lane road around Stanley Park.
We've got a problem of trying to fit a lot of other ways to get around in our city in the sort of leftover space.
The more fuel efficient and cheaper cars get, the more people are going to want to use them.
A decision to turn driving space over to cyclists in Stanley Park has reignited a decades-old debate on how to get around in the city. A 2019 TomTom survey ranked us worst in Canada for congestion.
So is it time we take another look at creative options for getting around?
As cars get better, and I put that in quotes because that's certainly debatable, what tends to happen in study after study is we drive more. When you dedicate and invest space and money in better walking, biking, and transit, it works better for everyone. Because if we're all trying to drive and compete for the same amount of space on our roads, nobody will even drive well.
Vancouver has had a transportation hierarchy. And the top of that hierarchy is people walking, and then it's people on bikes, and then it's transit, then it's commercial vehicles, and then it's single occupant vehicles.
As a cyclist advocate who works with the city on future plans, he says he's happy with efforts that have been made so far to accommodate those on two wheels.
Transportation 2040, the climate emergency motion with the bold moves, all of these have mode share targets that we want to reach, and none of them talk about increasing the ease of getting around by vehicle within the city.
There are going to
He says he supports multimodal investment, including transit, but warns the mindset around motorists may need a rethink if we want to avoid turning driving into a privilege reserved just for the ultra-wealthy.
In certain aspects, I think drivers are seen as a method of generating revenue. If you think to yourself, we want fewer cars on the road, so we're just going to make it more and more and more and more expensive until there's some arbitrary number of fewer cars on the road, then that's not an economically efficient outcome.
So how do we make room for everyone? Sam Schwartz, one of the world's top traffic engineers who's credited with inventing the word gridlock, says it's possible thanks to changes in the way we think about major infrastructure like highways.
Look at it as a new transportation facility and then ask the question of what could be incorporated in that facility. Does it mean we're going to have a few car lanes? Does it mean bicycle lanes? Does it mean an exclusive transit lane within that? Does it mean we're going to have some parks? We're smart enough now to design facilities that way. There are ways of achieving win-win-win situations.
In Vancouver, David Zura, City News.